Hi again, everyone. Down here at the Shade Mile Plaza right here on Sandusky Bay. The seasons are changing. The holidays are just around the corner. But you know what? The holiday seasons, the lights shine bright, and you've got the show. North Coast Spotlight, straight ahead. As I mentioned at the start of the program, this is the Christmas season. It's upon us, and no better place to be than right here in Sandusky, on Sandusky Bay, downtown Sandusky. We've got a very, very unique concept that we're going to be able to talk about here today. Our guests today are going to be Judy Corso, Chris Corso. They put together something that is very unique for our area. We're going to start off with Chris. Chris, tell us a little bit about what we're seeing here in this village.
Thanks, Ken. Appreciate it. Well, my mom and I went on a trip last year, through Europe on the riverboat on Christmas market tour. So it was amazing what we saw with the communities, the spirit in the winter and the love. And we just thought this would be something amazing to try to do in Sandusky, Ohio. So we have worked with the city and all the local community here to bring that same type of Christmas market here. You've got vendors, you've got entertainment, you've got things for kids, for the family, food. It's 3 weekends in a row, starting on Thanksgiving weekend, and it ends December 14th. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And we just think this is something that Sandusky is going to love, and the entire Sandusky region will just have something amazing to do in those 3 months of winter.
One of the things we should mention is the name Corso is somewhat synonymous with our town. The family's been around for generations, and these are the Corsos from Cleveland Road. And Judy, you yourself have been actively involved in this, and one of the things we wanted to mention was about the family, as your husband, Jim Corso, was very, very active in our community. And I think you mentioned this is something you wanted to be able to carry on in Jim's name.
That's correct. Chris decided to do the Jim Corso Foundation, so we hope that this is huge and we can keep honoring him because he was such a great guy, great dad, great husband.
And one of the things Jim did, folks, if you've ever met the gentleman, he was an outstanding man who did a lot of things for Sandusky. And as I always like to say about your dad and your husband, he understood sweat equity. Things had to get done. Jim would get it done. And Chris, you're trying to get this done here today and for the coming weeks, but tell us a little bit about some of the vendors you're going to have in here and how you're able to put this together.
Well, it's been a lift.
I like this. Look, go ahead, Judy's laughing.
I live in Columbus, so
right.
We've done some of this before, so we're not scared. Like you said, it takes a little bit of sweat equity. But the amazing thing is that the city has stepped up in an unbelievable fashion to support this venture. The Shores, everybody in the surrounding areas, my sister and brother-in-law, Dave Beer, their family that owns Daly's and Landmark, Barrel House, every bar and restaurant in the downtown, every vendor has stepped up to help us, the radio stations, the Sandusky Register, you guys, everybody's just really put forth an effort and get the word out. So we were a little nervous late into the season doing this, but we now have a waiting list for the vendors. We've got over 40 vendors coming down, a mix of Christmas items and food and entertainment. We've got bell choirs from all over the region, from Fremont to Sandusky, Huron. Everybody's just stepped up to said, let's make this happen.
And Judy, that was one of the things that you were responsible for doing. You mentioned Chris is down in Columbus, so he's not here every day. You, being right here in Sandusky, you were the person that was really the front individual that had to get things rolling.
I was trying. I was trying. So we've started out with my art walk, actually. I started asking those people if they wanted to be a vendor, and some of them were a little, oh, I don't know, it's going to be outside and it's going to be cold and yada, yada, yada. So. It just blew up from there, from word of mouth. You know, people, we have all sorts of vendors. We have glue wine, which is the famous wine in German Christmas markets. We have mugs, real ceramic mugs for the glue wine. We have German food. We have German tacos. Have you ever heard of German tacos?
German tacos?
Yes.
Right.
Rich Gessner's doing German tacos for us, and Sylvia Burns, who is from Germany, she's doing a lot of German food.
Donuts and
We've got-
pastries,
yes.
unique Christmas items people are making, crafts.
The House of Donuts is making miniature New Year's pretzels, which if you're not from this area, you don't know what a New Year's pretzel is. So
Right down the street they used to make
right.
them.
yes, that's right.
Right.
So we're excited about that, and Christmas cookies and just all sorts of things.
Barnes Nursery just stepped up to the plate. They're doing all the lighting for us. My brother Jeff is handling all the electrical wiring. His wife Diane is participating in every aspect. Just the amount of people that have either donated, the Ackerman family has been unbelievable. Just they've all stepped up. It's just been heartwarming to see.
Can I go
it.
like this?
That's it.
Can I, right here. This is what you're doing for Erie County and the
Correct.
people in Northern Ohio.
Correct.
You're bringing people together. And some folks say, well, why is it so tightly compacted? What was the philosophy behind that?
I think when we saw these events, especially in Germany, you know, just the family spirits.
Yes.
They want it tight, and it's cold out. So people are shoulder to shoulder. You're socializing. You're eating together. You're drinking the glue wine together. It's a warm wine, red or white, and just a festive spirit. It's almost like you're all in one big house together, hanging out and having a great time.
And we're right here on the bandstand or for the music. And Judy, you mentioned what? You've got some bell choirs?
We have bell choirs coming from a couple different schools, but I wanted to mention when we were in Cologne, Germany, it was pouring down rain. There were thousands of people out. They had their raincoats on, their umbrellas, their hats. Chris and I went back to the boat and had to change clothes because they were so wet to go back out. So, but they just love it, and we're going to love it.
The word we always throw around is community. And what you're telling me over in Germany, that it was a community event.
Absolutely.
And you can see bringing the people in Sandusky, Erie County, in our area together just for a couple of weekends.
That's right.
That is it. 3 weekends in a row. I hope everybody comes down and supports it, and just the Christmas spirit, the love of bringing families and friends together. I think that's what we're trying to do.
When you think about it, it's going to be a great holiday for sure. We're going to have the lighting ceremony up at Washington Park. People come down here. You'll be kicking it off down here, the lighting of the tree right here at the Mylander Plaza. It's going to be a wonderful time, and certainly get everybody in the feel and get ready for the holidays.
We hope so.
Yes, absolutely.
Once again, I'd like to thank Judy and Chris Corso for giving us an opportunity to come down to Sandusky Bay here at the Mylander Plaza and find out what's going to be happening over the Christmas holidays. Should be a great event for everyone to enjoy. But after the break, we're going to go 2 blocks south up the avenue on Columbus, and we're going to get together with Chris Bliley, aka the Food Dude, and find out what's going on in one of our unique restaurants here in Sandusky.
And welcome to another food segment of the North Coast Spotlight. Do I have a treat for you today? It's the Food Dude, and we are at Vita on the corner of Columbus Avenue and Washington Road, just 2 blocks from the Sandusky Bay. A beautiful, beautiful architecture, old bank, a church for a while, and then for the last 8 or so years, a restaurant now being owned and operated by Tommy Siegel, longtime proprietor of many establishments. Tom has a lot of years in the food and beverage business. Let's go in and take a look around and see if Tom has got some specials for us today. And I'm happy to be joined now by Vita owner-operator Tommy Siegel. And Tom, we've been friends a long time. You've been in the food and beverage business a long time with your family, and what a thrill to be inside this venue here. It is absolutely fantastic. Tell us a little bit about when you took over and what your plans are here at Vita for the future in the holiday season.
Thank you. Well, first, thank you very much. Like, been a friend for many, many years. We took over on September 13th was our first day. Our plans are to get in here, see what it's going to take to make it a better place, what we could add, any value we could add. It's called pivoting, I guess you'd say right now. We're in the pivot mode.
Well, I'd love to talk more, but I've heard so much about the food here, raving reviews from everybody.
Lay it out for you,
so
buddy.
let's get down to eating.
Let's go. We're in.
When Curtis brought out the food, we got pictures of everything. I just went over and grabbed a little plate. This is your charcuterie board. Tell us a little about it.
Yeah, we do quite a bit of charcuterie around here. We've got some nice Genoa salami. This is a nice Australian white cheddar cheese over here. It's got a little granulated salt in it. It's $28 for the charcuterie board, and it's probably worth $50 to be brutally honest with you. Yeah, and so
I'm the food dude, so immediately the thing I jump to is the meat. I'll get to the fruit later, but I jump right to the meat.
You'll probably pass on the fruit too.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've seen charcuterie boards that size that are, $40. I've seen them half that size that are $28. So it's a real value here.
Good value.
All right, so after we do the charcuterie board, what are we jumping to next, Tommy?
We're going to jump right over here. I'm going to bring you one of our meatballs down here. Great meat mixture with ground sirloin, Angus beef, pork, and veal. It's got some great old family recipe. Just eat a big bite like that anytime you get a chance to melt in your mouth a little basil in there, homemade red sauce. And these we sell, we're putting it together right now in a tray just like you saw. We have a meatball trio in-house every day for $12, and then that'll be a 24 meatballs for $48.
That'd be a great holiday item to get,
Give me a call. Yep, with a charcuterie and a meatball.
That's fantastic. Whose recipe is that, Tom?
That is, I used to be in the Italian restaurant business for a minute, so there's a little bit of heritage that goes in those.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah, great.
And what do we have here?
This is a nice vegetable flatbread, some good grilled zucchini, green peppers, red onions, yellow tomatoes. It's got a little bit of red sauce on the bottom, olive oil, a little bit of garlic in there, calamari olives, and spinach.
The crunch to that flatbread is phenomenal. That really makes it too.
Look at that.
And
nice.
Everything goes so well there put together. I actually normally I'm a meat lovers guy, but I could see myself dropping a few pounds maybe by eating these.
You'd get that with salami on it.
I would. Yeah. I would.
Okay. Well, we should have started here, but we didn't. But beautiful Italian salad since you already did the charcuterie. Nice mixed greens on the bottom.
I set your dressing right there.
Yeah, some nice Italian dressing. Got salami, ham, pepperoni, tomatoes in there, balsamic, calamari olives. Yeah, this is a really popular dish right here. Nice salad there.
Well, that lettuce seems like it just got picked today. It was so fresh.
Number one seller on the menu, chicken pesto. That's a sous vide chicken breast. It's got some homemade pesto on there, grilled zucchini, spinach, and a 9-grain grilled bread.
That's got to be, that chicken's got to be a half pounder.
It's 6 to 8 ounces, yep.
That's fantastic.
They're good?
Really, really good.
Good?
Really,
turn him into
good.
A chicken man. Good, and like I said, we've got a whole plethora of things here, but we like to keep it fresh. Like I said, cooked to order. Soups are a real big thing around here. We've got like the chicken noodle soup today.
I did see that on Facebook.
Yeah,
I saw that.
It's when you're in the hometown vibe, you got a lot of people. That social media has been our biggest, and BCSN is going to be our biggest driver for it.
There you go.
Yeah, but there'll be people that come in just for that get it every time.
So tell us a little bit about your hours. I do know, and then also I'm hearing rave reviews about your brunch. So tell us a little bit about the days and the hours for that, and then your hours in general. Yeah, and like I said, we're in pivoting time right now. Getting into the winter, and then with the traffic and flows about here. But right now we are 8 to 3 Monday to Wednesday. We are 8 to 7 Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and we are Sunday brunch. 8 o'clock open up for coffee. Brunch from 9:30 to 12:30. Nice little jazz duo in here. Beautiful brunch buffet, breakfast sandwiches. Your son Sammy tells me it's the best breakfast sandwich here on the North Coast.
Best breakfast sandwich on the North Coast, yeah. And these guys have always sold in real popular breakfast sandwich, and we actually have one that's on there all day that's called the Camus, named after my dog. We're very dog friendly though.
I saw one in here earlier today.
Yeah, a nice selection of everything. We thought we would come in here with popular items. We can't be everything to everybody in this small of a space, but nice little wine list, a nice cocktail bar, bourbons like you said. The coffee has been a big revenue driver for us, and it's getting better every day. I'm selling a lot more coffee at night as we're open at night.
You're at the corner of Columbus Avenue and?
We're at the corner of Columbus Avenue, and this is Washington Row.
Washington Row,
and we're just at the beginning of the epicenter, getting down to downtown Sandusky. We're in the holiday market this year. There's Chris Corso's family's spearheading that for this year. We're a big part of that. Events, if you're ever looking for an event, I think that's something that's really going to hold us over through the winter months as well. Got a lot on the books for the next couple weeks, and see what happens.
Tommy, come visit Vita. It's locally owned and operated, and I know your history in the food and beverage business is always support local, support local, support local.
Right on, brother.
That's a wrap here from Vita in Sandusky, and we'll be back with more North Coast Spotlight in a minute.
Welcome back into North Coast Spotlight, and as we get ready for girls basketball season, which as we film this is starting this weekend, there's probably no better person to talk to about girls basketball in our area than Tim Tucker, who it just so happens also is going to be going into the Ohio High School Basketball Coaches Association Hall of Fame as well this year. 36 years with the Polar Bears, 576 wins, 15 league championships, 13 district championships, 4 Final Fours, truly build a powerhouse here at Margaretta High School, is where we were filming this, by the way. And Coach Tucker, thank you for joining us. I was lucky enough to do a lot of your games on the radio back in my radio days, and then we caught you as we were just starting BCSN, but obviously a long career. What did it feel like when you got that call to find out that you were going into the Hall of Fame?
Really exciting. My wife answered the phone, and she kind of found out ahead of time, and she was smiling, so I knew something was up. Great, just fantastic, because we worked hard here. We put a lot of time in, had a lot of great kids, a lot of smart kids, and our success came from good coaches, a lot of good assistants, and just wonderful kids that were willing to work real hard.
Now, when you start out your coaching career, everyone wants to do well, but you never probably go into it thinking, hey, we're going to get 576 wins out of this deal.
Well, there were times in the first couple of years I didn't know how long I would last because at that time, Dick Winnis was he had a hearing program that was tremendous, had great kids for the first 2 years, and we had to learn what it was going to take to compete at that level. And we put a lot of time in, and we kept getting better and better, and it became a step-by-step procedure. Win a sectional, then learn how to win a district, then learn how to win a regional, and that learning how to win a regional is really tough. Everybody's good at that point, but once we figured it out, it was much easier. Just never figured out how to win that last tournament game.
And again, when you go into coaching, you never think that something like this is going to happen. Was there a moment where you can kind of pinpoint that there was a turning point and you saw that things started rolling year in and year out for Margaretta?
1988. Yeah. That was the turning point. About the year I got married too. And Ange and I, my wife is a major part of this. My assistant coach is Gary Borkert, was with me forever. Tremendous coach, worked really well with the kids, related really well with the kids, a good person to have. I let him be the person that kids got to enjoy. I did all the dirty work. Tom Kennedy, Gary Wall, Dean Cook, Gene Van Arsdale ran our junior high program forever. Fantastic man. Kevin Lindsley helped. And then a few of my ex-players would come back and help for a year or two while they were in the area. And it helps when you get people that know your system and buy into your system. And that was good. But I always keep asking myself, could I do it again? And I don't know. I'm not sure if I could today.
Well, you mentioned your daughters. What was that relationship like as you got a chance to coach Tiffany and Tatum as they got to the high school level?
They're both fantastic kids. Tiffany, hard-nosed. I was probably harder on my kids than anybody else, just because I didn't want them to ever be, I didn't want people saying they're only playing because of their name or the coach's daughter. No, people realize they're just better than the other kids. And I know the Santoras are the same boat. There's always somebody out there that's going to be a negative. And I had to learn. My wife, that bothered her more than it did me. Me, I didn't really care. People didn't have to like me. I just wanted to have a good basketball program, and I wanted the kids loved me. I think the kids and I got along extremely well.
Well, as you look at the Margaretta basketball program during your days here, one thing that always impressed me is because we would get here for a boys' game, and you guys would still be practicing. And the doors to the pool would always be open, and all we could smell was chlorine, but it didn't affect your girls. But watching you, the way that your teams practice and went about business and how hard they worked and how hard they played on defense was always super impressive to me.
That was the hardest thing to get the kids to buy into, defense. And that also came from watching the teams over West. I realized, okay, it's easy to get kids to play offense, but we had to teach them how to play defense and want to play hard the whole game. And that was one of the things that really hurt us in the early years, because people said your kids play hard to the end. And when I brought in substitutes, they wanted to play hard. And if they're playing hard and they're better than your kids, it's going to lead to a big blowout.
Yeah, and as your coaching career goes on, it seemed like that started happening more and more at other schools too. You had Division I college basketball players and athletes popping up all over the area. And I think a lot of that has to do with your program kind of pushed other programs to get better.
I think that's the biggest thing. And then our summer program, where I let everybody in the area play. Colleges back then could come and watch you play in the summertime more freely than they can now. And so we'd have people popping in and seeing future players playing at young ages, and I think that helped a lot. So,
well, I want to say congratulations on your soon-to-be induction into the Hall of Fame, and thank you for doing this. It's been fun catching up. I got a chance to interview you years ago back on my WLEC days, but it's been fun catching up today.
Yeah, I really missed the WLEC crowd. That was the start of it. I think the first interview I did was a district game with Mark Fogg at Lake High School. That was probably the first step to WLEC covering girls basketball. And from then, it's grown pretty well for them, I think. Well, everybody in the area.
Yeah, again, a big thank you to Tim Tucker for joining us. And congratulations on the Hall of Fame again.
You want to do my speech?
No, I don't think I want to do that, but I'm sure you'll do fine.
I'll try.
Well, quickly, 30 minutes goes by, and it certainly was a good show. We hope you enjoyed it. We had, as always, a variety of people, activities, and events. But now that we're into the holiday season, we wanted to take the opportunity on behalf of all the crew here at North Coast Spotlight to wish you all a very happy holiday, a Merry Christmas, and a very healthy and happy New Year.